Brothers, I want to share an experience that the Lord gave me last night to share. These things, as I always say, are a bit difficult and I have to do what God asked me to do. So in the name of the Lord, I tell you, last night, in my dreams, I saw how the end time approached at a very quick pace, and my family and I were running, warning all the people that we could find in front ourselves. Unfortunately, very few people paid attention. I also saw how we went to many churches. There were Adventist churches. We were there and we said when we arrived, well, it has to be Saturday because we find them all there as it is always customary on Saturdays. So we went to one and the other. We carried a warning. And when those who were there listened, only one or two came out when that happened. These people came out. The one or two, well, then there was a blackness. On those who stayed, a blackness that started from their head and continued down to their face, and that blackness also fell on the temple. Then we ran out and got very sad because we wanted more people to be out of that blackness, but we couldn't get them to pay attention to us. So we left there and we ran, and we were crying and asking the Lord to help us because the pastor, with the church leaders, elders, and others, started to persecute us. We were persecuted by them, and I told the people to run. Please, let them run faster because we felt they didn't. I didn't feel like they were shouting anything at us, nor were they trying to do something to us, but I felt that if they grabbed us, well, something good was not going to happen. So we quickly had a car there and we got in and started running away. So we went to many churches and the same thing happened time after time. But it was very sad because in some, no matter how hard we try to make people understand the time we are in and what God was sending, no one left. So in my dream, I also saw myself explaining to people how God had explained to me the final movements that could be made. And I told them to hurry, that what they had to sell, that they would sell, that everything of value that they had, that they would please sell it, house, car, furniture, belongings, that they will forget about luxuries, clothes, shoes, accessories. All that was vanity, and all that had to be discarded and follow what the Lord indicated. So I tell them in the directions that several families also join in, 3 or 4, and that they should buy something, a piece of land, but please to get out, start sowing, that the time it was close, that please they should hurry. It was a desperation that I had when I said this to people because many people, I explained to them. Then many of them left, but others stayed. Then I told them that it was time to empty the houses, that it was time to get out of things that the Lord was indicating that to us and that we please obey Him. So many told me, but I don't have things to go out. And I told them, but sell what you have. But they didn't want to. They were still clinging to their expensive chairs, their furniture, their things, and did not want to go out. I told them to put them before the Lord, to sell everything, and that money that they put before the Lord with prayer and fasting, and God was going to open doors on the way to a safe place. So the moment I was there speaking, at that moment, I told them, please, the true people of God must come out. The true people of God must come out. Please come out. Hurry up, hurry up. Don't look back. Do not delay. You just have to do it. And at that moment, when I was telling them that, I heard a voice that said above mine, very loud, hurry up, don't look back, don't delay. I just hold back the reins for a moment until you are located. Please hurry up. When I heard that, I got very nervous and told them, please listen, heed what the Lord is saying to you. But many laughed, closed their doors, and made themselves comfortable where they were. So in the dream, I also saw that all those who had come out of those churches were running with me. It was like a hillside, a mountainside. So we started to climb, and there were little cabins that were there inside that mountain in different places. They weren't all together. They were in different places, but those cabins were very modest cabins. They only had to sleep, and everything else was done outside. So many of us who went there in that group looked in amazement to see the simplicity of that place. But I encouraged them to be grateful and be happy because God opened a way for them and allowed them to go out. Then something told me to look inside a cabin, and inside the cabins there were like sleeping matrecitos, small mattress, and blankets. Something simple, some barrels full of water, and there was food, and the occasional pot, a glass, a cutlery, something like that, well arranged in a corner, and there were 3 books. So when I go to the books, what I'm looking at is the Bible, our Adventist hymnal, and the Spirit of Prophecy. So I said to them, you see how the Lord wants us to depend on Him only? Look at what He's putting us here. Then they looked astonished like someone who says, isn't there something else? And I told them, no, there is nothing else, but everything is simple, everything is in order, everything is clean. The Lord has set a table for us in the desert, I told them. Then I saw that how outside the cabins there was a wide field, and that there was a river nearby, and there we began to sow. I saw that we were planting a garden, and in the garden we were planting green leaves. There were also bulbs, there were roots, there were grains and fruits. That was what we were sowing at that time in that place. So every day we went to the garden with the certainty that we would find something to eat because we had to go to get the food for the day. And when we went out with that certainty, we would find the food there. So we were there joyful and happy, but suddenly something told me, go down the mountain. And when I come down the mountain in a hurry, the voice told me when I was on my way in a hurry, go find others. Then I saw how I was running, going to look for others. Then I saw that I entered a house, and when I entered that house, I saw a lady. That lady would bring me food and tell me, eat. And she offered them to other people who were also in that house. But the others took the food and began to eat calmly. But I told them, no, I can't stay to eat. Please, look, I'm telling you that we have to go. We have to go. And the lady of the house encouraged them to please calmly eat, not to rush. But I was desperate because I knew inside me that something was not right and that I had to hurry. So there I was, almost yelling at them, and I was telling them, please. The voice told me, go, get out, get out, get out. And I told them, but they didn't listen to me. So at one point, when I was there, my eyes kind of opened and my thoughts kind of opened, and I could realize that the people who were there, I knew them. In fact, I know them. And for me, it is very sad because when you meet people, well, one feels for them, and since they are brothers, it is even sadder. Then when I saw that the voice told me, go, their future is determined on them, so I left crying. I was almost out of breath. I couldn't believe it. They were brothers I knew from here in Puerto Rico and Worcester, Massachusetts, where I had the privilege of being in those churches, and the voice told me, go home, go home. So I started to run, and along the way I started from house to house shouting at people, get out, the storm is coming, please get out, get out. So many came out, and I saw them that they were with earrings, painting, and bracelets, and necklaces. And I said, but Lord, these are not Adventists. Who are they? And the voice told me, these are the ones from the last hour. Keep talking to them. So when he told me like this, I said to him, Lord, what about Adventists? At that moment, I fell unconscious to the floor. The pain was very great to hear those words. Then a very beautiful, beautiful character lifted me up and said, daughter, run, escape for your life, and continue the road, raising your voice. So I ran among many who were running in the same direction, and it was the race so big that I was running, that I surpassed them, and I ran until I did not see anyone running next to me. Then I began to pass by houses, and wherever I went, I would warn them, and some of them would go out and join the group of us who were running. Then after we went into the mountain, and I thought, Lord, where are so many people staying? But a voice comforted me and told me that everything was ready, not to rush. So high up in the mountains, I saw more little huts, but they were labeled, and for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, everyone who went there with me knew which were theirs. Then Adventist brothers who were already in that place, who were already there beforehand, followed them to their places already destined for them, and they were joyful, receiving all these people and showing them where they were going to be. So when they got there, they all began to cry in gratitude and said to us, thank you, because we were comfortable. Nobody had told us anything, and we are now here safe from the storm. Thanks to you. Thank you. Thank you for telling us. And we were all joyful, and we hugged and prayed and thanked the Lord for that opportunity. So we were there, and the sunset began from the mountain. I saw how the plain was getting dark. Then when it got totally dark, I heard a roar in the sky. And I looked, and when I looked, I saw big fireballs of fire that they were coming down. My heart wanted to leave my chest, because in the noise that these fireballs descended, I felt that my whole being was trembling. All the mountains were also trembling, and I saw that many people were in different mountains near us, because when the fireballs came down as if they gave a glow, when they passed through the mountains, and I could tell that our group was not the only one there, but that there were other groups in other mountains. But these balls began to hit the plains, and loud shouts of people could be heard for a few seconds, and then it stopped. So I knew then that for some reason, I don't know how, but for some reason, something in my mind told me the plagues are already beginning. They have already begun. So I said to everyone, please, let's kneel, let's cry out to God to protect us. And so we start doing it while the fireballs kept falling. When we were there, the panorama changed, and then I was taken from that place to a higher place. I was already above the clouds, and I could see down that there were many calamities of great magnitude, that it was impossible for me to notice it without flinching. My companion told me, look again. When he told me like this, when I looked, my vision opened like binoculars that are adjusted to see better, and they focused on the people who were suffering. The scene I saw was horrible, very horrible. I saw people there, Adventist pastors, parishioners. I saw people who were very loved and well known there. I saw relatives, I saw leaders from the greats there. They were all suffering this great torment. I asked that I please no longer want to see more, but my companion told me it is necessary. It is necessary. So when I was there looking at all those things that almost my sight did not want or fix on that, my panorama changed. So I entered Adventist churches where I saw how the leaders and pastors officiated. So they were there and they were crying out. They were like crying out for God to deliver them from that evil, but liberation did not come. Then the parishioners shouted at them, "You always told us what to do. We always obeyed, and now look what is happening to us. Cry out to God to deliver us." But the liberation did not come from anywhere. Then when I left that place, I was taken to a large room, and everyone was there suffering from the disease. Everyone complained, murmured, and I saw someone who was like in a seat at a desk, and he was signing something, and he distributed many sheets, and those sheets were scattered in different places. Then I saw those leaves, and I heard something. A very loud voice screamed, "Death!" So I felt faint and fell to my knees again, and my companion picked me up and said, "Come on, it's time." So I was taken to the mountain with the other people, and we began to cry out there day and night, day and night. But something wonderful happened. My companion did not leave there, and he told me, "Calm down, do not despair, watch." It was tremendous because at that moment my eyes were as if opened, and I saw angels that surrounded the mountain where the children of God were. That show was wonderful. I saw them holding hands, all making a circle around the mountains, and there I was sure that nothing could pass that fence, nothing could cross it. After that, I went down to the mountain, and I told the others what I had seen, and that we were there praising the Lord and glorifying Him, because they boasted when they said, "We feel in danger, but not anymore, because the Lord is protecting us. He sent His angels to be here with us." So it was late at night. It was already getting dark, and when it began to get dark, angels began to appear. There was one per cabin, and they guided us deep into the deepest recesses of the mountains, and there they began to keep us in places that they were already specified where we had to arrive. But I told my companion, I asked him a question, "Is this where our bread and our waters will be safe, right?" I would say to him, and he said to me, "Yes, only up to here it will be at the end of the harvest." Then I said to him, "But that's not what they told us. They told us that we didn't have to do any kind of preparation because everything would be safe." Then he would say to me, "No, up to here, up to this point, it is going to be sure." So I told him, "I want to ask you, why did we sow and quickly grow leaves and fruits there in the cabins?" Then he said to me, "Come and see. Come and see." I was taken to the sowing place and saw that the brothers were sowing. And brothers, I saw something wonderful there, something that gives me a very great hope in the Lord. I saw angels that came with drops of water, and those drops were bright, and they deposited them on top of every plant or tree that was planted there, and they quickly grew and bore fruits. So I asked him, and I said, "What are those drops?" And he told me, "Come and see." Then I saw how from the river of life there in heaven, quick and ready angels collected drops and brought them to the earth to irrigate the crops. I cried with joy, brothers. I was so happy. And then I was taken to the most remote parts of the mountain after they presented this to me. So in the mountain, we heard that there was a lot of noise, a lot of commotion in the plain, and a shouting. And I could hear it, but those of us who were there felt safe. We felt that nothing could happen to us, but we suffered. We suffered for those people who were in the plain. Their cries tormented us. It was very difficult to continue listening to what in the plain was heard. But then I looked at the sky, I don't know why. Something caught my attention and I saw the number 7. It was a giant 7, a giant in the sky. And I asked him, what is this? And my companion said to me, this is the 7th plague. Then, as soon as he finished telling me that, there was a roar. Everything began to shake. The sea roared, the waves climbed the mountains, and the earth creaked like a door with old toys, and it was all rolled over. We felt that everything was coming to us on top. Then I asked my companion, is it Jesus? Is it Jesus who is coming? And he said, yes, the time has come. My companion walked away from me and said, I have to go, and so do you. Then I say to him, how? Where are you going? Then he told me, I'm going to the angelic host to take my place, but soon I will see you again. So I asked him, where am I going? And he looked at me, smiling, and said, to the world. You are going to the world, and tell them that we are already preparing, because the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords is already returning for his own, that they balance the heavenly versus the earthly and fight so that no one takes away your crown. I saw the clouds when the angel left for heaven. Everything stopped. I didn't see anymore, but I heard a voice that said to me, run, go, run, tell them to get ready. I'm opening doors that no one can close so that they get ready, that they do not waste things, that they hurry just to get ready for this moment, because there is no time to lose. Many will not listen to you, but tell them, because the understanding will understand, and all those who are written in the book of life will be able to understand. Dear brothers, I woke up with the urgency to share this with each one of you. As I always tell you, brothers, I am nobody. I am the first to enlist before the Lord. But please, I ask you, the Lord is coming soon. All the signs, everything that is happening indicates us, brothers. Please get ready. Please listen to what God is telling us. Let's put our lives, our things, everything before the altar of the Lord, so that the Lord opens doors that no one can close. It is my wish and prayer that we all be saved, although in the dream I saw that not everything was like that. It is my wish, and I pray for this, that the Lord bless you, and that we can see each other in the heavenly homeland.